Well, where we have many still reiterating the importance of the August the 4th referendum, and consensus seeming to be that things are going to be pretty smooth sailing from here on out. This week we've seen Kenya's Prime Minister Raila Odinga in hospital undergoing a minor surgery. Is this causing any headwind for those initial forecasts on a smooth passage ahead?
Well, I think the difference is that this time a senior government official has been ill, and they've come out and told us everything about his condition. And I think it's a good, not just for the markets, but for the country as a whole. And I think it's going to help in, keeping a sort of stability level. We've seen most African leaders get ill, and the government tried to put it under the carpet, and this leaves a lot of speculation. So I think the way they've gone about it is wonderful. I believe it's good for the markets, and it's great for the economy as well.
In the meantime, we've got the East African community entering the Common Market Protocol today. Now, while the actualization of the protocol may take a while because this process requires a review of national laws, what's your overall view on the strides being made in that regard?
Well, the issues are pretty much on the logistical side at the moment. What we'll be seeing is that, especially with the movement of labor across the region, we have a very motivated and highly qualified labor force in Kenya. But at the same time, we also have the prospect of cheaper labor coming into Kenya from our neighbors. And I think that is the main issue across the board. I believe the biggest fear has been that the Kenyan employee will start moving into the region and probably take much needed jobs in the other economies, while at the same time the Kenyan labor market will probably see cheaper labor coming into the market, and therefore a sort of stagnation in the pay packages that Kenyan employees are getting. But basically the movement of goods, we've still had Kenya being the biggest exporter in the region. We've had very little tariffs on goods coming into the country, but some tariffs on goods leaving the country. So I think exporters from Kenya will also get some benefit from the new common market.
Let's hone
protocol.
in there in terms of the benefactors that we're set to see emerge here. I mean, sectors that are most likely to benefit in this regard?
Well, the first one would be our stock exchange. I think generally the fact that, for example, Tanzanians will be able to invest on the Nairobi Stock Exchange freely, which has not been the case. We saw them not participate in the Safaricom IPO, which was the largest in the region. And therefore, I think for them to be able to now participate on our bourse is important. I think it will also be good for those cross-listed stocks across the three markets. I believe that the fact that they've been trading on different platforms has been a bone of contention, and the fact that now you can actually trade on any of the three, it will increase the levels of, or the chances for arbitrage and the chances for trading across the markets. I don't know how they are going to sort of streamline the platforms, but going forward, I think the markets will gain very much. The motor industry, I think we in Kenya have a lot of assembly of agricultural components and also motor vehicles, and I think that will also benefit greatly, as well as the tire manufacturing industry. Companies like Yana Tires will definitely be gaining from this.
Well, lack of power has been cited as one of the major challenges towards the realization of the development of this East African region. I mean, what does this spell in terms of opportunity for a player like KPLC? Well,
I wouldn't go very much into the telecoms because, for example, if you look at the mobile telephony sector has been the most, the fastest growing, and I think that most, sorry, I think I went to telecoms rather than power. I think getting onto a grid that is, you know, that is a common grid would be gainful to the whole region. But all the 3 or 4 countries actually have power issues. And I think our grid would have to connect to someone like Zambia, who have the capacity to generate much more power than they need, and probably Ethiopia, who are outside the East Africa community, to be able to sort of solve those problems. But the gas reserves in Tanzania will be a very big advantage for Kenya, because we do have a very big gap in terms of power.
Well, Samuel, certainly early stats reveal that the bloc will create a market of close to 130 million people and a combined GDP of $80 billion, making it one of Africa's largest trading blocs. So certainly the opportunity is there.